Andrea? Yes, thank you. Hello everybody. I'm Ron Lonsdale, I'm Vice President with Collette, and I hope you, your families, and communities are keeping well and healthy. And as you know, we're all keeping a greater physical distance, but emotionally we're coming closer together. And it will not be too long before we reconnect the joy of travel. And what two better countries to get us inspired is Italy and Iceland. And Luciana Lyons, who's logging on now, who you'll meet in a few minutes, will be taking us on a virtual journey of these two spectacular countries. Personally, my two favorites, and I've been there a number of times. Collette, I'm not going to give you that info commercial, but the Collette difference is to give you more peace of mind, more expertise, more on tour, and more needed flexibility. So traveling really with Collette comes with benefits that take the travel guide experience to another level. And as you know, with insurance, it's a touchy subject, but our industry-leading worry-free travel protection plan offers you a full cash refund. Not going to get into unlikely some of the other competitors, but you can cancel for any reason 24 hours prior to departure, no age, no pre-medical conditions, and it covers you for COVID or any trip interruption. But the other thing is what we've done is we wanted to add some more flexibility to our travel protection. We know plans may change, therefore we have decided to give you more peace of mind. So any tours departing through December 31st of 2021, you can move the date one time with no change fees, right up to 60 days prior to departure. And all aspects of the travel protection plan remains unchanged. We love working with Kendra and the rest of the Merit Travel staff because their expertise, they're very knowledgeable, and they can assist you with the insurance. Now, with Collette, we have distinctive travel styles, small group, spotlights, faith, cruising, and I'm not going to get into it, but just keep in mind 160 tours to all 7 continents, and they're all uniquely designed to fit your travel needs. So we're really a premium operator, 4-star, 5-star experience, best value. And right now is called a traveling well experience. So each guest that travels with us deserves a memorable, fulfilling travel experience, and we intend to keep that and continue to deliver on that promise. So please note, for the foreseeable future, your health, your well-being remains our focus and priority. And we're consulting with world, health security experts around the world. And not to get into all that, but, this is where this lovely woman, who's a good friend of ours, she's going to get us inspired to dream now, travel later. And it's going to be so much more meaningful and purposeful. And I always say travel's the true educator. And she's been in the industry for close to 30 years. She's traveled exclusively to many countries, but her passion is Italy and Iceland. So I'm not going to steal your thunder, Luciana. I'm going to turn it over to you, and you are on mute.
And Ron, can I get you to hit the record button, please?
Yes, I did.
Okay, awesome.
Good morning, everybody. So my name is Luciana Lyons. Thank you, Ron, for the wonderful introduction. And I'm from Naples, Italy. I've been working all aspects of the travel industry, and I'm very fortunate to get back to my roots and what I love to do the most, which is showing people my beautiful country of Italy and sharing my passion with other about all the other destinations I travel to. And one of my most favorite, of course, is Iceland. Oh my goodness, what not to say about Iceland? Like the slide says, progressive. Yes, they are the most friendly, progressive also in a way that they're the gap of pay equality. By 2022, there's no gender or pay. Everything will be the same. People will all get paid the same. Safety, just the fact that parents can go into a cafe and leave a pram with a baby inside, outside, sleeping, that should tell you something about how safe this country is. It's really the environment, it's the cleanest energy consumption country in the world. And with Collette, we are a very sustainable tourism company, and working with vendors all over the world, it is very important to us. So in Iceland, the whole country is eco-friendly. As you can see, the population of Iceland is about a little over 360,000 people in a country of about 104,000 kilometers square. So majority of the population is concentrated in the Reykjanes Peninsula, which is the capital area, what we call it. And so social distance is not a problem in Iceland. We have 3 beautiful tours in Iceland. The Northern Lights tour is our winter tour. And of course, it's designed to maximize the chances of seeing the Northern Lights. And it's mostly concentrated in the in the capital region and the south coast of Iceland. Icelandic Adventure, it's a beautiful summer program. It's an exploration tour. So groups are a bit smaller and it's a bit more active, but it covers the northern part of Iceland and the west and the regional, the capital region. And then Land of Fire and Ice, also our other summer program, concentrating on Reykjavik area, the west coast and the south. That's a beautiful shot of the village of Vik. And here's one of the main landmarks that you are able to see this from miles away, Hallgrímskirkja, which is the tallest structure in all of Iceland. Well, one of the tallest structures in all of Iceland at 74 meters tall. It's a Lutheran parish, Lutheran church, which is the predominant religion in Iceland. You can ride the elevator all the way up to the tip there and have a beautiful 360-degree view of Reykjavik. This is down by the old harbor, Harpa. It's the building you see here on the right. The glass, it's the concert hall, convention and concert hall, built between 2007 and 2011. And it's built to reflect the lights of the Aurora Borealis. So even when Mother Nature doesn't deliver, Harpa always delivers, and we always have a beautiful light show. Solfar, or the Sun Voyager, a structure built in the 90s for the new millennium, and it's right down by the waterside, and we love taking people there, taking pictures, and that's a great shot with the sunset in the background. And of course, you can't come to Iceland and not try one of the best hot dogs in the world, according to Bill Clinton, who came to visit in 2004. And after he had it and tasted it, and of course, he never lies, so you have to trust him. This hot dog stand has been there since 1937. My favorite place, Þingvellir, is our national park. And it's so important to the Icelanders, and not only as a geological history to it, but also because this is the first place of the Alþingi, which is the Parliament of Iceland. This is where the Parliament of Iceland was settled in the year 930. And the beautiful feature, the geological feature about this is that Iceland straddles 2 continents, North America plate and Eurasia. The Mid-Atlantic Ridge, which is a mountain range, one of the longest mountain ranges in the world, that's usually under the sea level. Only 2 parts of the world comes above sea level, and this is one of them. So when we are visiting this beautiful national park, we are actually walking between 2 continents in the Graben. After the Þingvellir, or on our Golden Circle tour, our next stop is the beautiful Gullfoss, the picture you are seeing. And there are over 10,000 waterfalls in Iceland, but they're all spectacular in their own way. And here's a photo of my colleague taking in the rainbows over Gullfoss. Geyser or geyser, everybody pronounces it a bit differently. Of course, being such a seismic country, there are plenty of this is actually strokur, which is the Icelandic name for churning. Geyser is an Icelandic word for gushing, a gush of water. And it is also a word that we use in all languages to describe this kind of phenomena. The puffins, of course, the summer months between June and August, most places around Iceland are covered with colonies of puffins. And a funny story, I had a lady who came to Reykjavik and wanted to try the puffin. Many people do eat it, but you know, it's a bird who eats fish. It's not that tasty. So I would skip that. They are very cute to look at, but not to try it. Vik, it's a beautiful little town, 300 people in the south coast of Iceland, where we stay at this wonderful hotel. And I love visiting that church. And that is, I have a photo of what you're seeing right now in every season, with flowers, with snow, with ice. And it's just, it changes so much. But with that church as the main subject, it's just, my heart, it's just bouncing out of my chest because I can't wait to return. Skogafoss, also a beautiful waterfall on the south coast. There's a wonderful treasure hidden under that fall. And
Not seeing any pictures.
you're not seeing a picture of Skogafoss?
No, we just see you and you with the scenery behind, but no Iceland pictures.
Oh,
No, I see the pictures. I've been seeing them.
Me too.
Not me.
Yes, I see them.
do
I
you
see
have
them.
it turned on?
Yeah, hang on.
What you're seeing right now is actually some guests. We do this beautiful cruise around the glacier lagoon of Jökulsárlón, which again is a glacier lagoon. And all these ice, the icebergs that are calving off the main ice cap, which is Vatnajökull, which is also the largest ice caps in all of Europe. And so when we go visit Jökulsárlón in the summer months only, we are able to take that cruise. In the winter months, we just walk around and admire all the beautiful ice. Many times we have seals, colony of seals all around, because the current from the sea, from the ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, brings in all the fish. And so the seals come out and have a feast in the lagoon, and it's very easy to see. Okay, so here's back up north at Lake Mývatn, which is, it's a natural lake, but what you are seeing here, part of the lake, it's turned into a geothermal spa, kind of like the Blue Lagoon in the south, in the Reykjanes Peninsula. And we cover Lake Mývatn in the summer months as well. And there's a picture of the Blue Lagoon, which is not too far from the airport. And every tour of ours ends with a visit to the Blue Lagoon. The water is so rich in minerals, it's a very good exfoliating for you. The Icelandic horse, if you don't want to make Icelanders your enemies, don't ever call it a pony. It is an actual horse. The breed is protected. It is the original horse that the settlers brought in over 1,000 years ago, and it's protected. You are not allowed to bring any other horses into Iceland, and if you bring your horse outside of Iceland for any competitions, you are not allowed to bring it back in. And they have 2 extra gates compared to other horses all over the world, and they are just wonderful, very docile, friendly animals. Godafoss, the waterfall of the gods, also located in the north part of Iceland. And it's named so because when Iceland converted from paganism to Christianity, this is where they came to throw the statues of all the pagan gods down into the waterfall. So it's called the waterfall of the gods. Mývatn, another beautiful look of Mývatn, the natural baths, which is again a geothermal spa. Whale watching, this is in Skjaldfandi Bay, which is up in Húsavík. And in the summer months, we go on that rib boat and we take this beautiful ride, about 45 minutes out at sea. And we are surrounded by mostly humpbacks, orca whales, and lundi or puffins everywhere. At the geothermal area of Ferir. And here you can admire all kinds of mud pots, of fumaroles, Diamond Beach area at the end of Jökulsárlón, the glacier lagoon, and the beautiful black sand beach. When the tide carries these ice chunks out to sea, then they get washed up on the shores of the black sand beach. So it looks like big pieces of diamonds. Reinstrangara, basalt sea rocks, or what we like to call the trolls that are trying to pull in a 3-mast ship. Iceland is just a very whimsical country, and it's the folk tales full of elves and trolls and so on. Kjötsuppa, which is the meat soup, based mostly made with lamb. And then on the other side, you have a beautiful plokkfiskur, which is like a fish stew. The food in Iceland is amazing. Again, you have vegetable soup, Icelandic lamb. It's a staple of the Icelandic cuisine. My favorite, the lobster soup at Sigrefin, which is a little tiny hole in the wall on the harbor, on the old harbor, and they make the best lobster soup you have ever tried. Aurora Borealis over Faxaflói, the bay where Reykjavik sits on. Reykjavik, of course, being the capital of Iceland, it is the northernmost capital in the world, located on 64-degree latitude. Beautiful city with a fishing village feel to it. This is a beautiful, when we are very fortunate, if we cannot see the Northern Lights, we always have an amazing view of the Milky Way. Here you can see it. There's no light pollution where we stay in the south coast of Iceland. So you have these amazing views. Another beautiful photo of the Northern Lights here. And this is the Aurora Borealis over Dyrhólaey. We always drive about 20 to 35 minutes away from the hotel. Everybody has this app on our phone, and we can see where the activity is the strongest. And so we always drive to the closest location that has the strong activities. This is Dyrhólaey, one of the places in the south where we go to. And we are done with Iceland, and we are in my native country of Italy. Oh, what to say about Italy, what not to say about Italy. We have 41 UNESCO World Heritage Sites, the most of every country in the world. People who have come to Italy, we have such a high repeat number of clientele coming to Italy. We have 20 regions, pretty small country. It's not a huge country, the size of Arizona. And we are so diverse. Our culture, our food, our architecture is just so diverse from the north to the south. If you've never been, of course, we have over 13 itineraries to choose from. If you've never been, you always want to see, the most common areas, which are Rome, Florence, and Venice. Is a beautiful shot of the Colosseum. You walk through those gates and you are stepping back in time. This is again a shot of the interior of the Colosseum. As you can see, the ground, of course, is gone, and you can look underneath where the cells where they kept the animals and the gladiators. There's a partial stage where with certain tours, we walk right over that area and have a different view, a different perspective of it. This view is from above Vatican City, from the dome, Michelangelo's dome of St. Peter's Basilica, looking down at St. Peter's Basilica, that obelisk. It marks the spot where the cross of St. Peter was. The Church of St. Peter, of course, the largest church in Christendom. Beautiful artwork by Michelangelo Bernini and many, many others. That's the Pitti, or La Pietà, and it's the only monument that Michelangelo actually signed, and it's on the sash of the Virgin Mary holding her son Jesus, who had just been taken down from the cross. Aperol Spritz, of course, you can't come to Italy and not to join in with an aperitivo. With our national drink, Aperol Spritz. Aperol, it's a bitter mixed with Prosecco wine and a splash of soda water. And it's served with an orange only as a garnish. It doesn't taste orangey at all. And the first one is an acquired taste. The second one, okay, you're starting to like it. By the third one, you're hooked. And it becomes a staple of your Italian diet. Aperitivo, it's a big thing in Italy. Gelato, of course, you can't come to Italy and not have gelato every hour on the hour. Favorite break of everybody when they come to Italy. Will we have time for gelato? Of course, there is always time for gelato. This is a beautiful view of Siena in the region of Tuscany. One of our beautiful tours is a spotlight on Tuscany, and we stay 7 days in the same hotel, sightseeing all the main areas of Tuscany. This is Piazza del Campo, this beautiful seashell-shaped piazza, it's the living room of a city. Our piazzas are the living room of our cities. So everything is the political, the cultural, the religion center of a city. Kind of like the old forum during the Roman times. Beautiful view here. This is the most beautiful Renaissance, Renaissance view of the city of Florence. Ponte Vecchio, the famous covered bridge, which is now all those houses. They are all jewelry shops, and it's one of the bridges that Mussolini, well, according to the history, they tell us that Hitler gave a specific order not to bomb Ponte Vecchio, because when he had a visit in Florence with Mussolini, he even fell in love with Ponte Vecchio. So we like to believe that. A beautiful, beautiful picture of the Duomo, Santa Maria del Fiore, with Brunelleschi's dome. That's the front, the facade of the church, and the Giotto's bell tower on the side. They are not attached. Michelangelo's famous statue of David, it's a stunning, beautiful. It comes to life when you sit there and watch that statue. It tells a story. The most elegant piazza in the world, Piazza della Signoria. We have some of our guests here enjoying lunch nearby. This is another side photo of the Duomo. And the doors, the golden doors you are seeing on this photo are actually the doors of the baptistry. Sorry, I'm not sure what that is. Of the baptistry doors, and they are named the doors of heaven. And they were cast by Ghibellini, Lorenzo Ghibellini, and his son. They worked on these doors for over 30 years. It's their whole life work went into this. A beautiful picture of Pisa, the Leaning Tower of Pisa, and the baptistry here on the right. When we take you to the Piazza del Campo, you go to, you have the chances to climb the Tower of Pisa. It's not always open, and it requires reservation to get on it, but we give you plenty of time for people who want to take a chance and climb up. And then we come to beautiful Venice, a unique city, just nothing like it in the world. We call it La Serenissima, there's many names, which is the dominant city on the Adriatic. And these are gondolieri, retired gondolieri. I guess they can't get that out of their system. They still have to go. Gondolieri going under the Rialto Bridge. Rialto, which means elevated, tallest bridge in Venice. Venice is basically a concentration of about 117 little islands, crisscrossed by little canals. This is a picture of the Grand Canal, and over 400 bridges. The only few bridges span the entire length of the Grand Canal, and Rialto is one of the most famous. Murano, one of the beautiful islands from the lagoon, and of course glass making. It's what Venice has been known for many centuries. We do go to one of the main factories, and they do a presentation live in front of our audience, and you can see these wonderful artists bringing this sculpture to life from a grain of sand, literally. So it leaves you breathless. They make it look so easy as well. And then the wonderful architecture that you can only find in Venice, these mixtures of styles, Moorish, Arabic, Gothic. It's something so unique, and you can only find it here in Venice. This is a beautiful photo on the left. Okay, a beautiful map of Italy, from north down to the south. And a beautiful photo here of Vernazza, which is a little village in the Cinque Terre. Cinque Terre means 5 villages, and that's basically what they are, these 5 little fishing agricultural villages. 25 years ago, nobody had ever heard of this place, and now it's a main area where everybody wants to go to, and it's you can hike it, you can walk it, or you can take a train from village to village. Another beautiful photo here of Portofino, a little bit north of the Cinque Terre area. And some of our tours, we take a cruise over to Portofino, and you have some free time to walk around and enjoy these majestic views. Everywhere you look in Italy, you have stunning, breathtaking views. So this is Portofino, and then back to another coastal view, but this is Amalfi, which is my neighborhood on the south coast of Italy, and it's the Amalfi coast that starts from the peninsula of Sorrento all the way between Sorrento and Salerno, and you have the beautiful coast. It's named the Amalfi Coast. However, there are many towns along the Amalfi Coast, Amalfi being the main town. This is a beautiful shot of the cemetery up there with all those niches, the village below, and the harbor, the port there. Della Bussola, the beautiful pottery that Amalfi and the whole south coast is famous for. Lemons, of course, are depicted in all our paintings because we are borderline obsessed with lemons. Everything we make is out of lemons, including our wonderful limoncello, and it's a must try for everybody. Beautiful photo here of Matera. Matera, do you know, it's a beautiful little town in the south of Italy, and it's the 3rd oldest continuously inhabited settlement in over 9,000 years. And it's just a gem of a little town, and it's unbelievable. This is a scrumptious shot of mozzarella cheese. Mozzarella in Italy, it's actually a DOP, you know, like wines are DOC, origin, production. It's basically, the recipe is a protected recipe, and it can only be called mozzarella if it's made in certain regions, which is, one of them is my region, Campania, and it has to be made with water buffalo milk. So if it's made of cow's milk, it cannot be considered mozzarella. A beautiful view of more food. We have plenty of chances on several of our tours to bring you to a cooking class, and where you can make several Italian staple foods. This, of course, is some dough to make pasta. And here you see somebody making ricotta cheese. We go to a sheep farm, and once we arrive, they show us how to make ricotta cheese, and you get to taste it fresh. And then, of course, olives. How can we not talk about olives when we talk about Italy? Our olive oil, we use it in everything, not only as a culinary ingredient, but also a pharmaceutical and a cosmetic, and we live by olive oil. And this is a beautiful farm lunch that we go to, this family hosted lunch at this beautiful farm. With all products grown right there on the farm. Another beautiful shot of one of the hotels that we stay to on some of our tours, the Una Palazzo. And these are the sweeping views of the rolling hills of Tuscany. When you see the cypress trees, driving through Tuscany, it's everything you have imagined of or you have seen on TV. This is exactly what you get when we're driving through Tuscany. All these hilltop medieval towns, rows and rows of vineyards, and the best wine. Of course, after we take a beautiful walk through these vineyards, we sit down and have a wonderful lunch, and all the our meals are paired with the different wines. So we don't just taste wine, we also taste food with it. And the wonderful Barolo, Sangiovese, all the different wines. And of course, the food is paired with the local ingredients. This is fresh Parmigiano cheese, tomatoes, and basil. The ingredients are so genuine, so fresh and organic, and the flavors that are just, these three flavors, first of all, they represent the colors of the Italian flag, red, white, and green. And in Bologna, we take a walk through this beautiful market with all the fresh fruits and vegetables, things you have never tasted or ever even seen before. And as soon as we stroll through, we have some tastings of some food. Beautiful picture here of Lake Como, which is located in the northern part of Italy. These are a beautiful picture of the pre-Alps. The lake region of Como, Garda, and the Lake Maggiore. It's the region that also separates us from Switzerland. And the lakes create this microclimate where it's always beautiful temperature. And now we come down to the southern part of Italy in Sicily. Sicily is the region, the island off the coast of Italy. You know, when you're looking at the boot, it looks like Italy is kicking a ball and Sicily is the ball. Oh, look at that. That is a wonderful photo of the Greek-Roman theater on top of Taormina, looking down into Taormina up on with Mount Etna. It's a bit far, you can't see Mount Etna under the clouds, but over to the left you have beautiful shots of Mount Etna. One time we were there at a concert, this was, oh my God, 20 some years ago, and while we were listening to the concert, all of a sudden nobody was paying attention to the concert because Mount Etna was giving its own show. It was erupting. Mount Etna, it's an effusive volcano, so it's constantly erupting, and there's in the evening, of course, when everything is dark, you see this vein of red flowing down the mountain. And so yeah, we tuned out the concert and we were all staring at the majestic show of Mount Etna. And this is a beautiful picture of a little harbor in Malta. And in 2021, we are adding Malta to our itineraries. And you can also do it as a side trip from Sicily. So we are very excited about this new product, and Malta, it will be a wonderful addition to our tours. Looking forward to start working there. This completes our beautiful presentation of Iceland and Italy. And thank you so much for tuning in with us. And I hope to be able to host you all in my beautiful country.
Well, Luciana, that was fabulous. I know you can spend hours on Iceland, hours on Italy. We have a time limit here, but we've given a good taste. I'm salivating. I can eat my way through Italy, and I've been to Iceland 4 or 5 times, and to your point, it's different through every seasonality. And again, travel's a true educator. It's one of the very few things that you can buy that makes you richer, and it's going to be so much more meaningful and purposeful. And can't wait to share the world's beauty and and reconnect the joy of travel. And Merit's been a true partner of ours, and they are the professionals, and we can't thank them enough for the ongoing support. And thank you for your time. So
you are very welcome. Thank you for having me.
Thank you both. We have a ton of questions, so I'm going to start it off. I'm going to say them in the order that they came in, not necessarily in the order that they relate to the talk. But can the trips accommodate vegetarians?
Absolutely, yes. So we always have people on tour with different dietary needs, vegetarian, gluten-free, pescatarians, you name it, we can accommodate anything.
Good to know. Next question. What is the best season to visit Iceland?
It depends on what you're coming for. If the Northern Lights are your main focus, of course, you only want to be there between September and February, March, but September to February is probably the primal time. Of course, keep in mind, it is a natural phenomena. We do not have a light switch to turn them on and off, but the chances of seeing them are obviously between these months because we have the longest hours of darkness. Then, of course, if you want to experience the midnight sun, then you have to come between late April, May through August.
Okay.
But there's something for everybody, and you should come 4 times a year so you can see it in different seasons.
We would love to, I'm sure. This one's a personal one. What city in Italy are you from?
I am from Naples, but I also lived in Bologna, and we lived also in Pinerolo, which is in the region of Piedmont. And yeah, and I've been traveling all over Italy my entire life.
Back to Iceland. If you had only 1 week to visit Iceland and you can't go back 4 times a year, which region should we not miss?
Oh, wow. Well, the South, I think the South has the most concentration of everything, from the glacier, the lagoon, the glacier lagoon, Diamond Beach, Black Sand Beach, the volcanoes, the mountains. It has a little bit of everything. So the South, I think, and waterfalls, definitely the South. You cannot miss the South.
And what size of group do you normally escort? Is it differ from country to country, or is it standard?
Not only by country to country, it depends on the tours. We offer several different tours, like Ron explained at the beginning of the presentation. The classic tours are usually between 30, 40 people. Of course, this year with the new social distancing, our groups will be definitely much smaller. But then the exploration tours are designed for small groups. So we do not take more than 20 people on those tours. They are a bit more active tours. And there are certain things you can do in an exploration tour that you cannot do with a classic tour because the way the tour is designed.
Do you ever accommodate solo travelers, and is there a single supplement? And if there is a supplement,
Yes, actually we do. And it's interesting that a lot of our programs, we have a large percent of single travelers. We have a very low single supplement because you know, we're different from river cruising and cruising where you pay double occupancy, where on land tours, there is a supplement and it averages about 20%.
Okay, good to know. Please advise what is or is not included in the price of the tour.
Well, so when it comes to meals, 60% of our dinners are included. About 57% of the overall meals are included. So there's going to be a few meals that are not included. On an average 2-week European tour, we have less than 3 options. So the majority of the highlights and attractions and sightseeing is included, but we may only have 2 options. A few meals not included, and gratuities are not inclusive for our talented tour directors and driver and guides, so like local experts. But for bellhops, restaurants, and you'll notice that we're very much more inclusive than a lot of our competitors. Yeah, and then the air is not included. So we provide a land only rate, and we do have air contracts that you can sell with a free transportation package.
Okay. And what are the ratings of the hotel guest rooms that they would stay at?
Well, that's a great question, because the one thing is you'll notice when you go onto our website or you read our brochures, we list our properties. So, and they have the highest TripAdvisor rating. So there's no surprises. There's no telling you 45 days out. So they're premium properties. They're handpicked. Luciana can, attest to this because she's really on the product and tour guide side. So when you're doing Italy, she's going to pick that boutique villa, that homestead, Palazzo or Piazzi, where we stay in those country estates. So yeah, so, and again, that's what sets us apart. And if I look at Iceland, the upscale rustic area of Vik, the Hoffenbrocken hotel. So yeah, like we pride ourselves on the accommodations.
And what would be the average age of travelers on your tours?
Oh, wow. I would say the average traveler on explorations, it's people in their late 50s, early 60s. On our classical tours, they're average 62. But, throughout the summer months, we get multi-generational, you get family travel. It changes because the tours are well balanced. We give free time for independent explorations. We've created a new distinctive travel style called Spotlights, where you're in a concentrated region like Tuscany, for 6-7 nights, and it's like land cruising where you go out and do day trips, but you have free time, you know, to try the spas. And we'll find that we get younger people doing that because doing a guided tour or a multi-day vacation, you save about 35% doing our type of traveling than doing it independently.
Okay. When do you anticipate starting tours and travel again?
So we've already resumed operations. We're doing some domestic travel throughout the U.S. As you know, we're waiting for it to be lift or drop the quarantine period and the non-essential travel advisory. But we anticipate that we're cautiously optimistic that we'll be running tours possibly the end of this year and into January and February of next year.
Good to know. How crowded are places like Venice, Rome, and the Amalfi Coast? Will your guests be surrounded by other tourists? That one's hard to answer, but
it's again the bridge of sighs or thighs, right, Luciana? So the one thing is I tell people now is take advantage of not the overcrowding, take advantage of the shoulder season. So you have an Italian who's lived there year round, and I can tell you going in Italy in November, there's no crowds, there's no cruise lines, the weather is very temperate, the people are more hospitable, you get the real cultural connection, you know, even March, April. So and you get a significant savings. So I would just go at that time.
Mm-hmm.
okay. And here's a really general question. Somebody wants more Iceland facts.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm happy to share what to wear, population, you name it, A to Z. So I'll get that to Kendra and you can disseminate it out to all the merit agents, and we're happy to pass that along to the person who's asked for it.
Actually, so I might be putting you on the spot. So if you think back to the time that you traveled through Iceland, tell us like one highlight or experience that made you go, wow.
There's not just one. To me, it's not just one. I am a bit of fanatic with the geology, of course. It's what this country is all about. I mean, Iceland is still growing, and because of the fact that it's located on the two tectonic plates, it keeps growing by 2.5 centimeters a year. There are over 300 earthquakes that you experience in Iceland. Most of them are below a certain level that you don't really feel it. But it's very much alive. Mother Nature here, it comes to life, and it teaches you a big respect for Mother Nature, because on the many trips that I've done on my own, exploring different parts that are, you know, not tourist friendly, it can turn just like that. Mother Nature can turn on you just like that. So you develop an entire different respect for it, okay? And wow, the fact that it is so vast, it's pure, it's dramatic. I've done helicopter tours, I've done land tours, I've rented, you know, last year I pretty much lived there for 6 months. And when anytime I had a time off, I would go off and explore things that are off the beaten path, which is most of the country. Again, geothermal activity, geothermal power, green, as far as eco-friendly. Everything is so pure. The fact that you can fill up a water bottle from a creek, no sediments in it, because it's all lava stone. So the water comes and gets filtered through lava stones. So there's no sediments in it. If you buy those portable filters, nothing comes out of it because the water is so pure. People frown upon tourists buying bottled water because Iceland, I mean, let's face it, is a pretty expensive country. So if you're going to buy a water bottle for $5, everybody looks at you like you're crazy, because there's, you know, a huge amount of water that is there for free, and it's the best tasting water in the world. So I think so many different facts, but you know, the purity of everything.
Well, I think you've gone a long way to inspiring us to all want to travel to Iceland 4 times a year. Does anybody else have any questions? Because I don't see anything else in the chat. And if nobody else has anything, I think we're going to wrap it up. And thank you again, Ron and Luciana. Not only was it informative, but your photos were amazing.
Ciao.
Thank you.
Ciao, Luciana.
Arrivederci.
Okay.
Ciao.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.